No
So,
problem.
man, this is like an honor. This is like, I'm pumped to have you on the show today. So, for those of you who don't know him, and if you're really involved in real estate, you go to events around the country, Mark Z is a major player from the Detroit area, right?
Yeah, from Metro Detroit. Yep.
Metro Detroit, baby. And
Yeah.
so, how long have you been in real estate?
So I've been in real estate 17 years, actually 18 years now. I keep saying 17 years. I feel like it's like my age. I keep saying I'm 40, but
I love it, man.
18 years, man. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. And tell us your story. Tell us the Mark Z story. Were you always independent? Were you with the big brand broker? Give us that 30,000-foot elevation, because you have a meteoric rise in real estate that I want people to know about. And I want to talk about why even mess with eXp? Well, we'll start with your story real quick.
Yeah. So real quick, I'm not a brokerage hopper. I've only been with 2 brokers my entire career. I was with Coldwell Banker for about 4 or 5 years, and then I settled with Keller Williams, and I was happy there, man. Just like you, I don't really have anything bad to say. I say it was good, and I just found great. That's what I say about Keller Williams. So I was
awesome.
there for
how many years were you there then? Like a
10
long
years.
time.
Yeah,
what?
10, 12 years.
Yeah, I was 8 years, 12 years at Remax myself.
Yeah.
So you built a team. You didn't stay solo. You actually got to the point. Let me ask you a question. How many homes were you selling when you decided, I'm going to build a team and have some buyers agents? Were you selling 30 homes a year, 50, 40? What was that number?
I think I was around 100 homes a year. You kind of max out
yourself.
at about.
What time out? You were selling 100 homes a year yourself.
I was working like 90, 100 hours a week, Brent. I was doing 4 open houses on the weekend. It was too much, right?
Yeah, you're that's 1/10 of 1% of crazy. That is very impressive.
Yeah.
But you needed more of a life. So for you, it was an absolute necessity to start building a team. And so you took the market.
It was either that or I'm getting out of the business. It was to the point where the money wasn't worth what I was going through. So
right, and in Detroit, housing prices are not like California. They were lower, right?
Yeah, no, average price point. 150, 175,000 at the time. It was nothing.
Oh yeah. So you were there. So you built this team, and how big did you build your team up to? By the way, this is great. Not one single person's jumped off this. I love it. They're loving you, Mark Z. So how big did you grow your team, and how many sales did you end up doing annually?
So I got. It wasn't a huge team. At the time when I decided to build a team, there wasn't many teams throughout the country. This was newer, and brokerages at the time, if you remember, Brent, they're really intimidated by teams, right?
Yes.
They were scared, like, whoa, what are you doing? Are you trying to overtake us? Yeah, what's going on here?
And go independent. I think that's what it was. They were afraid you just grab your team and go independent.
Absolutely. So I built the team. It was up to about 15 people, and we were doing around 450 transactions, around right at that mark. So it was a decent-sized team. That was my last year at Keller Williams. I had about 15 people.
Wow.
Today, you want something exciting?
Yes.
Today, we're sitting around 55, 60 people on the team. A year and a half later.
Team has grown huge at eXp, bigger than you ever dreamed.
Right.
And then how about your eXp organization? Because part of eXp, people just saw us telling your friends and colleagues and family members and people you knew from college or wherever, and sharing the eXp model. You've helped a bunch personally. Then they went out to tell people. What does that look like today?
For me, it's been about a 10 times multiplier. So I've got about 50, 60 people on my front line, and my whole organization is around 700 people. So it's about 10 to 12 times. And, from my experience, I know yours is a lot bigger. Yours is probably 100 times. But for me, I say, listen, just concentrate on those 5 or 10 people on your front line, and it's going to turn into 100. If you get 20, it's going to be 200-300 within a year. I've only been here about 18 months, and so 18 months, it's about, and that's the beauty about this. We're not building this alone. You bring in yours, and then let them bring in theirs, and them bring in theirs, and everybody's working together. And, for me, that's the part that I find that, most people don't even talk about at eXp is the collaboration.
Oh, yeah. Well, here's the cool part. This happens at every single company. And people watch you right now, there's a bunch of guests on. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. If you go to Berkshire Hathaway and you like it, people will ask you, like me or Mark Z, hey, what are you doing over there? You're like, oh, I love it. Well, why are you there? Well, I'm there because of boom, 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 boom. That's how I ended up at Remax and stayed 12 years. That's how I went to Keller Williams and stayed, because people told me how awesome Remax was, how awesome Keller Williams was. Same thing happened at eXp. The difference is, you tell someone they joined Berkshire Hathaway, then their friend 3 years later goes, well, why are you at Berkshire? Oh, it's great. Here because of this, this, this. Then they join. Then they tell their friends in Chicago and Michigan and Miami and Dallas, and they join, except there's zero financial compensation for the process. All the eXp did was monetize the process, come up with this financial alignment to where we all benefit. We think it's valuable if you tell your friend from college, Ben in Portland, who sells 40 homes a year for Coldwell Banker, and he comes to eXp and does that every year, year after year, then maybe he did. We think there's value in that, and we compensate you for it. Would that be a fair statement there?
Exactly 50%, 50% of the revenue comes back to the agents. I mean, what other company does that? And I mean, 50% of the revenue. I didn't say 50% of the profit. I got this shit-eating grin. I shouldn't swear, but this shit-eating grin on my face because 50% of the revenue goes back to the agents. Yeah. And we've even had months where it didn't hit the 50% and they give us even more money.
It's crazy. Now, Coldwell Banker has started a revenue sharing program. Yeah. If you can't beat them, join them. So they just did this past year. Yeah. It's 2% of the revenue created the first year, and then the second year it's 1%, and the third year it's 0 forever. At least that's what a Coldwell Banker agent told me. So I'm just sharing it. And I've asked a few other Coldwell Banker, yeah, they already paid it. It's like having Nordstrom's is having 2% off, or the 1% sale.
How about yesterday? We met with a company, and they said, we're going to blow you guys away. We're now going to start doing revenue share. Mind you, this company was doing profit sharing, right? They never distributed anything because they weren't profitable. But now they went to revenue. So just do the math, Brent. There was nothing on the bottom line when you were holding all the money. Now you're going to give some of the top line money away. How does that make sense?
It's called bye-bye. They should call their company bye-bye real estate, right? You got to be cloud-based. You got to be virtual. You have to have no overhead. Like my office here is very beautiful. Here, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Well, it's just a mural. It's $90. That's a $90 office, man. My actual office is right there. I'm inside a Regis, just like we just showed you guys. Right. And my office here holds about 7 people comfortably, and it's $950 a month. I mean, by the way, you know how we all got these little bonus perks yesterday?
Yeah.
Mine was $46,000.
Oh my God.
I'm going to get the $200 mural. I'm going to upgrade to the $200 canvas. That's
honestly, Brent, I don't know if I'd still be in real estate. I was getting to the point where I was just bored, the repetitious boredom of selling houses. And, if you're in sales, you've got to have a certain ego in order to decide that you're going to go out and, have your own business and be a salesman. So I just got to the point where I was bored of selling and doing the same thing. Now I'm not really selling anything more, but I've got another income stream doing the same thing. I'm not selling makeup. I'm not selling products, but I'm just selling my houses. But yet when you're in this career, you find that throughout your entire career, people constantly ask you, hey, how do I get into real estate? Oh, I've always wanted, it's the American dream, right? And now we just get paid for it. That's the difference.
I love it.
We built all these companies, if you think about it. And that's why a lot of these managers and all of these companies, they keep rotating because none of them are really great recruiters. It's only the agents that bring in their friends or a co-op agent or something like that. And just, the difference here is someone's given us a piece of ownership. No different than when we tell our buyers, right? We tell our buyers, hey, listen, stop renting. You're wasting your money. Well, me and you rented for 15, 20 years. We walked away with nothing.
20 years.
20 years. I did it for 16 years. I rented. Walked away with
than me.
nothing.
You got out of it quicker.
Yeah. And so now I got a chance of ownership. I got a chance to get paid the rest of my life. This isn't going anywhere. When I came on, there was 6,000 agents. Now we're hovering around 30,000. So, you know,
Let's
no
talk
doubt.
about your 700 agents.
Yeah.
You've gone in 18 months from zero to, well, you brought on 15 agents, but now you've grown to 700.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself May 2021, 1 year from now? How many agents do you think will be in your organization?
It should grow about 50 to 75%. So I'm thinking we're going to probably be around 1,200, 1,500. Am I cutting it short? I mean, you've watched the growth.
Fine. Now imagine you had an office like what's behind me that housed 12 to 1,500 agents.
Yeah.
Hey, if you did, what would the cost be on that commercial lease?
It wouldn't make sense.
The overhead. Right. It doesn't make sense. That's why I know Pier 1 Imports just couldn't do business for the last 2 months. They're shutting down every store they announced nationwide. It just done. They were on the razor's edge of not making it anyways. Overhead's a killer. So that's pretty exciting. Now, the nice thing is when you having a team of 15, I had a team of 15. In 2005, my team, they weren't big in 2005, right, Mark?
Yeah.
Teams. I had 45 buyers agents at Remax.
Oh my God.
So I was doing teams. I started building my team in 1999. I've been holding team meetings for 21 years. So I should have more gray hair than I have here. But, we had to get out there and keep them happy, love them, help them be productive. And it was great and all that. But it was just like, I was just running harder, like George Jetson, for those, And so here was a way to escape Roseville. What I mean by that is you'll relate to this. 2 hours away from here is Napa, San Francisco, San Jose, some of the most expensive real estate in the world. Beater homes start at 1.2 million. And then the good stuff goes up around 5 to 10 million. And very normal is about 1.5 to 2.5 million a house. End of story. Childcare is, I heard someone told me childcare was $5,000 per child for in a 2-year waiting list. It's crazy to live there. Homes cost a lot, everything's expensive. But my friends would sell 20 homes a year at 2.5 million by themselves and make as much money as me running this massive team with all this massive overhead. And they had a second home at Lake Tahoe, one of the 8 wonders of the world. And I would be kind of jealous. I'm like, oh my gosh, if I do what I know how to do in the Bay Area, I just wasn't willing to relocate from Roseville, where I live here, where the average price was $350, not one, right? And I know you're the same way in Detroit. Here you are selling 450 homes a year at 150, 175,000. Then you meet these yahoos in San Diego selling 100, but they're at 650. Doesn't it just kind of drive you crazy? And so now you escape. I escaped Roseville. Tell everybody what we mean when we say we escaped where we live. We love where we live, but the home prices were lower for you and for me, respectively. How many states are you in now? How many cities? You can't even now. I don't think you could quantify the cities. Maybe you could, but how many states are you in?
So I've got realtors in 41 different states. I haven't hit 50 yet. 41 different states who are, considered partners of mine. I don't manage them. I don't get into their business. All I see is the amount of deals that they do, and I get paid off of.
And you encourage them, though. You inspire them.
Oh, I talk to them all. I talk to them. We're in groups together. I've never communicated with 41, agents in 41 different states before, but we can do that with the platforms that we have. I can tell you this. My team, it costs me, listen to the risk. People that say, oh, I'm going to build a team. Okay. My team, I put out $150,000 a month. Okay. That's the risk that I put out every single month, $150,000. Mind you, I'm the last one to get paid.
Yeah.
Sometimes my revenue share, which is around, can I say it?
Good.
Okay. So it's, between 20 and 30,000 a month right now. I make more from my revenue share than I do from my team.
If you have an off month.
Think about that risk. I'm putting out $150,000 a month. That's what I could possibly lose. And don't think I didn't lose that. The last couple of months we were on lockdown out of nowhere. What do you think happened? You can't just stop. You can't stop TV. You can't stop billboards. You can't stop this stuff like that. It doesn't happen. Right. So the amount of risk that you put in this business, if you want to grow a big organization, it nowhere near equates. And Brent, I mean, for what you make, I mean, hands down, man, it's a no-brainer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I got in this business. I thought, I could probably sponsor 10 or 15 people my first year at eXp. I think I could do that. I mean, they get stock, they get ownership, they get this revenue sharing, leads, training, healthcare. We have healthcare now. I thought I could do that. And then if they tell some of their colleagues, maybe have 100 my first year, and that would be about 80,000 a year rev share towards my retirement. Take 80,000 a year, and if you don't spend it on baseball, bubble gum, and baseball cards and hot dogs, you actually chunk down your mortgage by 80, like you set it aside for retirement. And it was beyond my wildest dreams. I ended up 13 months later with 870. And it was just like, wow. And the growth of it. And this year, I want to invite everybody Saturday morning on BuiltForThis.live at 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to interview the newly named president of international growth for eXp. We were going to add 3 countries this year: Mexico, France, and Germany. Pandemic hits, everybody freaks out. Even the eXp leadership goes, oh, put the brakes on everything. And they go, maybe we'll go into 1. And then now we've hired from Realogy. He was the guy for Realogy. There it is, right here. And it's BuiltForThis.live. Gene Frederick, Scott Lewis, Rob Flick, and myself are going to interview a guy named Michael Valdez. And he is now the president of international growth. And he said, you know what? This is a great time to grow. Everybody's freaking out. They don't know what to do. Deer in the headlights. Because we're going to open 8 countries by the end of the year.
Wow.
And so we're going to open 40 plus. There he is, handsome figure on the left. He's a New Yorker. He looks like he's a part of the mafia. Yeah. But anyways, we actually, by the way, we've actually grown. We've had people join this. Not one person's gotten on, Mark Z. They love you, man. But
thank you.
This guy, Michael Valdez, the executive vice president of international expansion, we stole him from Realogy. Realogy is the largest conglomerate in the world.
Yeah.
They own many brands up to 300,000. And we headhunted him. We offered him a ton of money, stock. I mean, I'll shamelessly admit, we just flat headhunted him.
He's a huge player. He's a great player.
Oh my gosh, you guys. We may open 40 countries in the next 5 years. And we're the 25 million agents worldwide, 208 countries. This guy knows everybody all over the world. Yeah. He was like the guy. So that's happening this Saturday morning, 9 a.m. BuiltForThis.live. Watch this, because the opportunity is so much bigger than Des Moines, Iowa, or Tampa, Florida, or Detroit, or Sacramento, where I live. It's a global opportunity. And what happened to Airbnb and Uber and Amazon and Travelocity, these global cloud-based, net-based companies? I mean, the world becomes your oyster. Prior to this, Mark, you dominated and owned Detroit. I was the top agent in Sacramento and actually became the top RE/MAX agent in California out of 10,000. Nobody sold more homes than me in 05. And that's because I had the Wells Fargo Stagecoach with 45 buyer's agents attached to that sucker. Woo! We're just riding that Stagecoach. And I had a lot of like a V12, baby, like a V12 English, some sports car with a V12 engine. And that's what it is. It's the old J. Paul Getty quote. I'd rather have 1% of 100 man's efforts than 100% of my own. So you and I get that. And that means that we work for those people. We love them. We encourage them. Is Tina Call in your business?
Absolutely.
So tell everybody, just 1 minute. We got to wrap it up right now. But tell them who Tina Call is. Did you ever know her? I don't think you knew her. And now she's a part of your organization. Just tell them who she is. It's amazing, this whole financial alignment. Tell them.
It's crazy. So I didn't know Tina Call. Tina Call's in the Carolinas. And an agent that's in my second line, so not even on my first line, so an agent named Michelle Sayward, who was brought on by Kurt Shewell, knew Tina Call from the Carolinas. Tina Call has brought on, I don't even know, I think she's had a couple hundred people herself, which means I get paid from the 200 people that Tina Call knows. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. You don't know who somebody that you know knows. Right. And like Brent said, it's anywhere in the country. What if you have an uncle in Germany? What if you have an uncle? I mean, we've all know people all over the world. And so just the opportunity to be able to expand anywhere in the country and get a piece of it. Keep in mind, there's people in other organizations that own, I'm not going to mention any names, that get anywhere from 3 to 6% and are worth billions of dollars, billions from that same percentage that we get.
Yeah.
So, you know,
The future's bright. Can you imagine this? We're going to archive this interview, and I'm going to put it up in 5 years. And I go, remember, I'm going to send it to you. Remember, and we'll go, look at how big eXp is now. Right. We're in 40 countries. There's 1 million agents. You guys, we have 30,000. You're not too late. You're just right. We were on gravel and dirt roads with potholes.
Oh, God.
Those, and we just paved the on-ramp to the interstate. And you're showing up when we have health care. You're showing up when we're now distributing 50% of all the money that comes in back to the agents because we don't have the overhead. And when he said he was spending $150,000 a month, that means if he earns $140,000 in a month, he loses $10,000. Right? And then if
absolutely. That's a common.
You spend 150, you make 15, but your rev share came in at 25 to 30,000 a month. I remember when my rev share, you will be quickly, like in the next 4 or 5 months, you'll be at 55,000 a month because that's how quick I moved from where you are to 55. And I can't tell you, that'll calm your nerves. You can budget with the next 30. Are you married, Mark?
I'm married, got 3 kids. They all know revenue share. They're all under 12 years old, but they know that word. They know revenue share.
Absolutely. So your wife she will, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it. She's going to love you more. You give her an extra $55,000 a month discretionary income. My wife's like, this is the greatest invention in the world, eXp. So keep learning, keep asking questions. Yeah. And
my wife said that's the reason I got in. You know what my wife said when we watched the webinar the very first time? She's an attorney, so she redlines everything. She said, Mark, if we don't do this, how are you going to be able to compete? What are you going to do when agents are comparing you to this model? And that's when the next day I called up Dan Beer and said, I'm in.
I'm in. Mark Z is in, and we're so glad you're in. Whatever I can do to help you, let me know. I will fight for you.
You do all the time, Brent. And that's another thing, man. I mean, you're humble and you're not going to brag, but it's just the other day I needed some help with something. I never knew you before. I'd be embarrassed to even reach out to you before, but now you've got a vested interest in my business. If I ever need anything, you do everything you say you're going to do. I appreciate it. I'm very thankful for it. And I know everybody in my upline, downline, and that's what this company does. It brings us all together. We're all working towards one common goal, one common company. And I love you. I love this company. And thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you on. Remember when we were at Coldwell Banker and Keller, we were all nice to each other at the office. We'd help each other if the copier got jammed or the scanner was offline. Well, here, let me show you. Use my code. You can have a coffee on me, or here, I'll pay for your copies. Don't worry about it. And we were nice, and we helped, but we go back to our office, shut the door, and go to work. Here, we actually do all those things, help buyers buy and sellers sell, but then we're helping each other expand worldwide. It is a trip. Keep learning. If you want to show this to your best friend or your spouse tonight, you don't want to wait because I do this every Tuesday or Wednesday, Thursday on the same Zoom link. We'll work next week, 12:30 Pacific to 1:30. You could do that. But if you don't want to wait till next Tuesday and you want to show this to your best friend in real estate or your spouse, go to right here, themodelexplained.com. It runs 24/7, exactly what you just saw without Mark and I's interview, which was the best part. But because Mark is amazing, but you can show them at least how it works. And there's all kinds of materials and information about eXp at brentgove.com. Anyways, have a great Memorial Day weekend, everyone. Mark, thank you so much for being my guest.